Patrick Mahomes and company will start at the 25. They are the number 8 offense. A lot of room for Mahomes, and his first throw is incomplete. And then there's 87 at tight end. Second down at 10, and Mahomes gets plastered by Hassan Reddick. And then there are clean sacks, and then there are these.
Well, They even have a tight end over to that side to help out the right tackle, Jawan Taylor. But Hassan Reddick, he comes right around the edge. They were unable to get to Patrick Mahomes in last year's Super Bowl.
Brings up third down and 19. Underneath, it is dropped off to McKinnon.
You're right. That's a great start for this Eagles defense.
The punt by Townsend, with Covey staying away, and that was not a good punt by Tommy Townsend. Hands to Swift over the right side. And DeAndre Swift gets 3 yards. Hand to Swift, tries the left side. Third down coming up. Third down and 6, and Hurts is in trouble. And brought down. McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie, number 22 off the slot, is one of those guys. Now Gainwell, who's in the backfield, he comes over and actually does a good job of picking it up. But Hurts just not able to find anybody open right away to get the football.
Super Bowl 57 started with back-to-back touchdowns on the first 2 drives. This has been back-to-back 3-and-outs. They hand off to Pacheco. And Isaiah Pacheco is able to pick up 3.
Tell you, Donna Kelsey, she's become quite a celebrity, and what a great job she did, and Ed raising those boys.
Here's Pacheco able to bounce. First big play of the night, Isaiah Pacheco over the right side.
Number 74, he's able to hook Hassan Reddick and allows Isaiah Pacheco then to get on the edge and pick up that gain. Running the football.
See how important he is in their wins. Here's a handoff to Kadarius Toney, who was one of the stars for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, able to rumble for 14 yards.
And Creed Humphrey, number 52, right here in the middle at center. You see the job that he's able to do. He reaches and then he secures the lane that allows the run. Really effective running play.
3 runs. Quick throw out on the edge. Hardman back in Kansas City after starting the season with the Jets. Happy to be back in red, and he picks up 5.
Couple big runs already on this possession.
Not this time. Pacheco is wrapped up immediately by Milton Williams.
You're going to see what he's able to do is he just cuts right through that offensive line. That's a tough job on the left tackle, Donovan Smith, trying to reach block that and cut him off. And with his upfield penetration, was able to get home.
Third down and 7, and the pass is caught. That's Toney, and we'll see where they put it down.
Over the last several weeks, hadn't had a lot of offensive snaps, but watching practice on Saturday, you kind of got the idea. As now they're going to get Josh Sweat coming over the line early.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They want to make sure he's fresh down the stretch.
Here's Rashee Rice. Makes a move, first down plus. Out of bounds near the 10. Toney again. Ran into his own man. Banged into Donovan Smith. Hassan Reddick will get credit for the tackle.
Players have.
Here is a handoff to Pacheco, picking his way near the 3. Pass is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Justin Watson.
Well, keep an eye on Kevin Byard, the safety, and he looked like he got a little confused. Everyone else was in man coverage.
Longtime Tennessee Titan, and it's 7-0. Chiefs on top. Little jump touchdown throw like a shortstop coming across the bag to turn a double play.
He's as good as there is in navigating the rush and finding the little crease and knowing where to go with the football.
See how the Eagles answer. Hurts. Smith. And a thing of beauty.
Yeah, these two receivers that the Eagles have, and Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, that's a tough job for any secondary to try to handle these guys.
Hand off, and right up the gut of this Kansas City defense is DeAndre Swift. Hurts on a quarterback draw. He's got the first down, and then wisely just goes head first to the 41. Here is a handoff to Swift. And a gain of 3.
And I think every offensive lineman wants their kid to be an offensive lineman.
Hurts able to get rid of it. He is able to find Swift, flag down in the secondary. Meanwhile, DeAndre Swift gets 2. Pressure by Omenahu.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense number 38. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Here is Swift. DeAndre on first down, able to pick up a couple.
He doesn't have to worry about that because Snead's plenty aggressive.
Hurts able to find his receiver for a first down. Devontae Smith, 2 catches on this possession, this time for 11.
They're accustomed to over the last few weeks.
Play clock at 1. Hurts again to his right. Just unloads it into the end zone with Smith the closest to it. Delayed handoff to Swift. Got a good block on the edge. Takes it down, spinning inside the 5. First and goal, Philadelphia.
I mean, watch this block. And left tackle Jordan Mailata, the job that he does, he leads it, and then Kelsey's right up in the hole. And what a great block. Excellent execution.
Here is Swift again to the edge. What an answer by Philly. Touchdown Eagles.
Olamide Zaccheaus, number 13 for the Eagles. He was on the edge trying to secure it to get Swift outside.
Elliott banks it through. Seven game, and the drive for Kansas City will start at the 25, and we'll send it down to Lisa. 46 rush yards for the Chiefs on that last possession, and they start on the ground here, and Pacheco ran into Milton Williams, who's made a couple of plays. Here's Pacheco, and that hole closed in a hurry.
They don't shift in motion all that much. They pretty much just line up in what they're going to do.
3rd down and 9. Flag on the play. Mahomes is tripped up by Jalen Carter, the outstanding rookie. Britton Covey waits. Wants to return it, has a little bit of room, and takes it out of bounds near the 40. Here's A.J. Brown. Covered by Snead, and A.J. Brown gets 8 on first down, and that's his first target.
You can make a case for him for right now being the best receiver in football this year.
Here's a handoff to Boston Scott and a first down. Hands off to Gainwell, who is wrapped up by Willie Gay. Blitz coming from the Chiefs. Hurts gets rid of it. Picked off by Snead. A.J. Brown at the end of the play ends up with the football. But the indication is that it's Kansas City's ball.
It's an interception
of the season. Make sure he secured it going to the ground. And he did.
Yeah, it sure looks like he did. And A.J. Brown, he beat him so bad off the line, but here's another look at it. It does look like his hands and arms are under it.
We'll go back to the interception after this play. It's Mahomes.
And L'Jarius Sneed makes a good play on the ball.
Contract year for Sneed, having a big year at the right time. Here's Mahomes out to his right, and he will go down on a knee across the 35.
When you know that you've got a rusher, a free rusher coming at you, and you've got to get the ball out.
Mahomes gets the ball out and is able to complete it to Justin Watson for a first down. Nothing yet for Travis Kelce. Handoff to Pacheco. Lowers his head and gets 9.5. Second down and 1. Handed to him again, and a first down for Kansas City.
And he's still doing it at 34 years old, but hoping to get involved in this one.
Extra men on the rush, and he's involved. Travis Kelce with his first target and catch of the night. Second down and 2. Mahomes pulls it down. Sweat can't get to him, and Mahomes picks up a Kansas City first down. Edwards-Helaire, left side, got to the edge, and gets another first down.
They motioned Kelce over there as well, so they've got two tight ends to that side. Noah Gray, he does an excellent job on the edge, number 83. Yeah, he's the one who makes the key block that springs him to get on the corner.
4-0. As the Chiefs head coach against his former team, the Eagles. First down, end zone, picked off, intercepted by Byard. His first as an Eagle to keep this 7-7. After the interception, handoff to Swift. On first down, Hurts is sacked by Chris Jones.
But Chris Jones is so fast to get up the field that Kelce's not even able to help. You see, immediately he gets up the field, so he's one-on-one on Dickerson, and then he works all the way around.
Second and 17 as a result. This is the tight end. And as they try to replace Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll. Hurts. Jones got him again.
Well, they put Jones on the outside. Lane Johnson, the right tackle, but this is a screen pass. So Lane Johnson lets him go by, and you see Gainwell, he's trying to get into a position. It's hard enough to get away from Chris Jones, let alone when you don't even get hands on him.
Kadarius Toney on the return, spinning around, trying to make something happen. He's made it happen to the 45. Hadn't returned a punt so far this season after that brilliant one in Super Bowl 57.
Yeah, well, Kadarius Toney, he's had a nice first half for a guy who really has not done much over the last several weeks.
Punt nets just 22 yards of field position. Quick throw and off the hands of Watson, incomplete. Kelce. No flag. Incomplete. Byard was back there, and Kelce in this crowd looking for a flag in the secondary. There is one here.
Offside. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
That official did see the arm restriction, but based on the timing, doesn't make the call.
Here's Pacheco, nice cutback. First down at the 25.
Creed Humphrey and Joe Tooney right here. The job that they're able to do inside, and then Pacheco, for him to have the vision and be able to see that hole open up the way that it does. Pacheco knew where the camera was, too.
Here's Mahomes. In trouble and able to break that tackle and tiptoe down the sideline for a positive play to the 11. Pacheco. Williams makes the tackle.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier in this game, Philadelphia has run the ball better than they have in recent games also.
Here's Pacheco trying to add to his night. Takes it to the 5, and a timeout is taken by Philadelphia. They're down to 1. It's McKinnon in motion. There's Kelsey. There's a touchdown, Kansas City.
You're expecting man coverage, so Valdez-Scanlon comes across. You got Byard. He's going to pick him as Kelsey comes out. Byard is going to run with Kelsey, but he can't. He gets caught up in the congestion inside. Darius Slay not able to get there in time to make the play.
Extra point is knocked through by Butker.
Clearly beyond a yard to make it offensive pass interference.
I think the other part of that, John, is defensive players. I mean, you have to anticipate.
One timeout remaining for Philadelphia, and the ball's out. Trent McDuffie. McDuffie with the strip sack, a loss of 9, and Hurts was able to get back on the ball.
So they should be able to pick this up, but nobody sees it. McDuffie, again, coming off the slot. They've got 3 with 3 rushers, and yet they don't bounce that out.
5th forced fumble of the season for McDuffie. Here's one to Gainwell, just to get some of that yardage back. Eagles 0 for 2 on 3rd down. Both have been sacks. Karlaftis.
And now, because of how good this defense had on that series, they're going to give their own offense another opportunity. Karlaftis.
For Spags and the Chiefs, that's 4 sacks over the last 6 plays, and now kind of a shank off the foot of Braden Mann. Here's Tony, who spins his way near the 45. Movement on the offensive line will add 5.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Been struggling offensively over the last few weeks. That has played a role in it.
Mahomes throws it away.
He's still a force. He may not be what he was in his prime, but he's still awfully good.
2nd down and 15. Mahomes pulls it down, now fires, and a drop. So 3rd down and 15. Mahomes lets it go for the first down. And they have to hurry up to the line of scrimmage, out of timeouts. That stops the clock with 17 seconds left. And the ball is at the 34 of the Eagles.
Encroachment defense, number 98, causing the offensive player to come out of his stance. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Backpedaling, McKinnon makes the catch on the throw from Mahomes. Mahomes settles it down and will clock it with 2 seconds left. Good snap, good hold, and on this cold, windy night, Butker keeps his perfect season alive. Hits from 43. Eagles start the second half at their 25.
And they've got to start opening up some lanes in the running game as well.
Here's a handoff to Boston Scott. One of the biggest weapons in all of football. Here's Swift right side, and down he goes. Hurts is wrapped up. Looked like a quarterback draw. It's going to turn into a defensive play by Chris Jones.
It sure looked like it was a designed quarterback draw, and Chris Jones, he just beats Kelsey right away. He got no chance. I mean, that's right where you're running the football.
It goes down as a run, so no sack. Tony is driven back on a beauty by Brayton Mann. And pretty well covered this time by the Eagles. The team with the best record in the league coming in. Here's Pacheco left side. 10 plus.
Pacheco, where he's been able to get on the edge, and Donovan Smith, the left tackle, he's able to secure it. Nobody's then out there in order to turn everything back to the inside.
Toss to him over the right side. Flag flies on this play. It was thrown by the referee, Sean Smith.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. First down.
But they're trying to do what they can to shore things up with this run game that Kansas City's been putting on them.
They put up 136 yards now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Second down and 12. Mahomes takes off right up the middle. And he'll slide down short of first down yardage. Third down and 3. Mahomes can't find anywhere to go with it, and now floats it too high for Kelsey. Punt by Townsend. Kind of holds up in the wind. Here comes another blitz. Eagles pick this one up. A.J. Brown is out of bounds. Covered downfield by L'Jarius Sneed. Second down and 10. Here's Swift. Makes a move on Willie Gay. Third down and 1. Swift with that play bottled up, and Willie Gay makes the stop. Omenahu was back there as well, and it's fourth down.
In his pocket, trying to decide whether he was going to give it to him or pull. And then by that time, you know, the Chiefs are able to rally. I really thought, Joe, they're on third down, that if they didn't make it, they would do the tush push. With losing yards there, there's just no chance.
Man hits another good one. Tony on the return. Breaking tackles and is wrapped up. Hand off to Pacheco. Well played by this Philadelphia defensive front.
He said, we're having a great time. We're both happy, enjoying life.
Here's Mahomes, and there he is. Kelsey right on cue, able to hang on to the ball. He's going to be 2 yards short of a first down as Byard.
In the protection and where he can scramble, and that's why he's the least sacked quarterback in football.
He knows if you've been bad or good,
that's it.
So be good for goodness sake.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Third down and 7. Here's one for Watson. It's not there.
Seeing the same thing that I saw, and we saw Mahomes coming off the field. So those are some of the things that have happened to them on the lack of big plays in the passing game this year.
Beautiful punt by Townsend. Covey on the return. Good return by Britton Covey, and good field position for the Eagles, down by 10. Down by 10. Hurts had to pull it down and then fired low for Devontae Smith.
Pressure to be able to get the ball out to a reliable target like he is.
This one is complete. That's Devontae Smith.
6 for 6 in the Super Bowl on that play.
And it's just unstoppable. Here's Swift. Still going. DeAndre, big cutback. Down to the 15. And boy, did the Eagles need that.
They come back, and you're going to see the handoff then by Hurts, but this is just a great job of open field running by DeAndre Swift, making some people miss, cut back. I thought for a minute there he was gone, but...
Extra men on the rush. A.J. Brown, end zone shot incomplete with Snead in perfect coverage. It's Brown in motion. Hurts keeps. Hits Devontae Smith, who takes it to the 10, and that's it. Justin Reed. Another blitz. Hurts takes it right up the gut. Touchdown, Eagles.
Well, McDuffie is coming off the slot. Hurts sees it, and then he just gets right in behind those pulling linemen and is able to make a play.
It's a three-point game with the way they have resurrected their season through three different starting quarterbacks. Doesn't really feel like a three-point game, but it is. As Mahomes finds a wide open Rashee Rice. And the Eagles defense forgot about number 4, who picks up 17.
Has made some stops while their offense was struggling to keep them in it.
Here's Pacheco, flag on the play. Travis Kelce is pleading his case.
Holding. Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Mahomes, Rice, tapped down near the 38. Gain of 6.
Patrick signed off on him, and Brett Veach, being a good GM that he is, he drafted him.
2nd and 14 in a spinning effort by Valdez Scantling. It draws a flag on Darius Slay.
Pass interference. Defense number 2. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
16-yard penalty. Here's Pacheco. And Pacheco is brought down by Byard and others. A gain of 2. Blitz coming from the Eagles. Chiefs pick it up. Shot for Valdez Scantling, not close.
There wasn't anything there.
3rd down now. Flag on the play. The pass to Kadarius Toney is incomplete, but there's a flag in the secondary.
Illegal contact. Defense number 39. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's kind of a new position for him inside. He's struggled some in coverage.
First down, Mahomes out to his left. That ball was tipped, and it falls incomplete. Sky Moore with a diving try. Hardman waiting for the blocking to take effect. Wrapped up by Zach Cunningham. McKinnon gets it and gets it. First down, Kansas City. Pacheco is hit in the backfield. Hassan Reddick, who's also got a sack tonight, and we are through 3 quarters now. Mahomes, Kelce. Spinning catch. Toney is just short of first down yardage. They hand it Pacheco. He got it.
Considering what this offensive line has been able to do for much of the night.
Kelce. Ball comes out. Recovered by Philadelphia. Morrow gets the fumble recovery, and the second Chiefs turnover of the night.
Fumble recovered by the defense.
That's such a good job by Roby, who comes in and he just punches it out. He sees that Kelce, see right there. Great job by Bradley Roby.
He had missed the last 3 games with a shoulder injury, and it was Roby from the other side who just punched it out. Dangerous throw and incomplete. Devontae Smith was the target, and L'Jarius Sneed was there again. Now this side for Julio Jones, nothing. Justin Reed, the first there for Kansas City.
Here comes McDuffie. No, he's going to settle back.
Hurts takes off. Long way to go. Won't get there. To the 15, that's it. Man hits it. Tony staggering to get it. Nice move. Still rolling, and he gets knocked down across the 35 by Josh Jobe. Bradley Roby knocked it out. Back on offense, cut back by Pacheco. And Tui Pelotu in to make the stop, a gain of just 1. Second down and 9, incomplete. Pass intended for Rice. Mahomes backpedaling. Watson! What a throw! What a throw by Mahomes!
All-out pressure, 7 guys. Reed Blankenship has a free run at Patrick Mahomes. He hangs in there and just lays it out there to the boundary. You see, there's Blankenship who's coming in on Mahomes, and then place it any better than what Mahomes just did.
Fires a fastball here to Pacheco, and he is forced out immediately by Cunningham.
that was really good.
Here's Moore. Sky Moore broke 1 tackle but can't break another. So third down coming up again. Third down and 4. Right through the hands of Justin Watson. And the punt from Townsend. Covey stayed away, and that ball rolls into the end zone for a touchback. This one's batted into the air. It's incomplete. Trent McDuffie made that stop as they tried to get it into the arms of Olamide Zaccheaus.
You're not sure exactly where people are coming from or that you're going to get what you think you're getting pre-snap.
Here's DeAndre Swift. Big pickup by the Eagles. Brought down at the 40.
Same play earlier. They run it's the middle screen to Swift. He starts like he's going wide on a swing, but you've got linemen out in front of him. We saw it in the first half. He had a big play and then another big play on that last one.
Here's Julio Jones getting a block from Zaccheaus, and big Julio Jones, 6'3", 220. One of their 2 remaining tight ends. Time runs out. Stoll was the target. Incomplete to bring up third down. Hurts. Complete to Smith. First down, Philadelphia. Here's a shot for Smith. He's got it! They're going to mark him at the 1.
Devontae Smith, he slows down for the ball and is able to just make sure that it's over the shoulder.
And here comes the Eagles specialty, the push. And the penalty flag on this play. A touchdown is the call. But again, a flag on the play.
Well, this is automatic. We saw this in the Super Bowl, as I said. They were 6 for 6. 2 of those went for touchdowns, just like this one here. I mean, you do whatever you can, but whatever it is, it's not going to work.
And those big bodies colliding underneath.
It's for a ride.
Well, what a good job by Braden Mann to secure that snap and get the ball on its end.
The Eagles able to get it to Devontae Smith and take the lead in this game.
That 41-yarder to Smith, the longest play of this game. Halftime Super Bowl deficit to win that game 38-35. Eagles hoping to do the same tonight.
It's a shutout in the second half and kind of wait for their offense to get it going a little bit, and they finally did.
This is out of the reach of Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Nowhere close.
They shut this play down as Brandon Graham came across.
We'll see how they rule this, because Brandon Graham comes into the neutral zone and it forces a tackle. Wow.
Offense number 52. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
3rd and 12. Mahomes is able to try to get it to McKinnon as he avoids the sack, but it's 4th down.
It looked like they were going to pick up an easy 5 yards, and instead, and on this play, I mean, you never know what might happen, and Zach Cunningham was a little unsure whether to come off.
3 and out by the Chiefs in this game. They came in with only 10 all season, fewest in the league. Here's Covey from the 25. Pretty good blocking out in front, and a nice return to the 45 or thereabouts.
A.J. Brown has 1 catch for 8 yards, and Devontae Smith has been the guy who's come alive.
Here's Hurts. Slides down with a nice pickup of 9. Is the push by Hurts. It's absolutely impossible to defend. The blitz. Great job by this Kansas City defense in February in Glendale. 2nd and 12 now. Flag on the play in the area of a hold, and that's the call.
Holding. Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
They get Jordan Mailata. Hurts looking for yards on the ground, and there was no daylight. Swift out of the backfield. Strong tackle. That was Drew Tranquil. Chiefs down to 1 timeout. End over end punt with Tony. Brought down immediately. That play made by Job. Down by 4. Mahomes, Rashee Rice. Clock will run.
They've got 1 timeout left, clock running. They're 4-down territory throughout on this possession.
Here's Watson, able to stop the clock. It's 3rd down and 2. Kelsey can't make the catch. Off his hands and incomplete. Kelsey 5 catches, 27 yards. On 4th down. There he is for the 1st down. They get another play away, and Mahomes finds Kelsey over the middle for another 1st down, but a flag is down in the offensive backfield.
Result of the play is a completed pass. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 91. 15-yard penalty will be added to the dead ball spot.
And the penalty on the hit by Fletcher Cox. 1st down at the 49. Mahomes. This one is thrown away. Tony closest to it. Good protection, aired out. Valdez-Scantling dropped it.
By the Chiefs receivers.
3rd down and 10 as a result. Mahomes is in trouble. Sweat got there, and the pass is thrown to the sideline. Eagles are looking for a flag, and the officials will get together. That ball did not make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, and in addition to that, there was nobody in the area.
And they're going to throw the flag for grounding.
I'll say if they didn't get it, Eagles fans were going to be going crazy.
Offense number 15. Although he's outside the pocket, the ball did not make it back to the line of scrimmage. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. lost it down, 4th down.
He can put a ball just about anywhere on the field, and trying to cover him up, this is not easy.
Here's it out, downfield, incomplete. And the Eagles take over.
It looked like it was a drop, and it was a drop. If he catches that, that's a 1st down. I mean, Justin Watson is able to go down the field and hook up. You see the yellow line. Watson turns around at the top of the screen, and if he catches this ball, it's a 1st down. And Mahomes, that's what I was saying. Against a lot of quarterbacks, you can take that 4th and long for granted. Not with Mahomes. It should have been converted.
A league-high 26 drops. Jason Kelce and the Philadelphia Eagles are going to get a road win here in Kansas City.
Well, the Chiefs are going to go home tonight, and they're going to look at a lot of lost opportunities for the resiliency that they showed in this second half, particularly the defense, being able to make key stops.
Eagles, to pick up on what Troy was saying, shut out Kansas City in the second half. And Nick Sirianni gets the win over Andy Reid, who loses for the first time against his former organization.